Hello everybody, I hope you're having a great and amazing time. And here are my beautiful Citation rootstocks. This is a cross between an apricot, a peach, and a plum. So you can pretty much graft any stone fruit onto it. And the only thing that it won't take is cherry, which I'm not sure why, but cherry is just different enough that it won't take cherry, but it'll do apricots, plums, peaches, nectarines, even almonds. You can graft onto these guys. And I just finished digging these up for the day. As you can see, there's quite a stack here. These are all suckers that are from around my plum trees. And because I plant stuff around my fruit trees, I break the roots around them sometimes. And when that happens, they resprout. Citation doesn't sucker normally on its own unless the roots are broken. And then if you sever that main root from your tree, it'll grow its own rootstock tree. I'm not sure if these actually fruit themselves. It's possible they do, but here in Florida, they just don't get enough chill hours either way, and I've never even seen flower buds on them, so. But other than that, they grow very well here in Florida. They don't mind the heat. We'll get into why I love this rootstock. It's the only one I use for my stone fruits. And I don't think there's really anything else you need, honestly. They have all these newer patented varieties and all these ones that are nematode resistant to all this and this and this. Well, let me show you something right here. Why? It's all about money, you know. You patent them, they want money. Look at that root right there. Hopefully you guys can see it well. Hopefully you can see all these roots well. Try and get up close here with them. If you know what you're looking at when you're looking at roots, these are absolutely beautiful roots. And if you're wondering what I'm showing you, then I'm telling you why, this is an amazing little rootstock. These are basically grown in sand with, mulch put on top. And look at that. Can you see what is not on that root? There are 0 gall marks or swelling points where there is nematode infection. Absolutely 0. And trust me, I have nematodes. I mean, I grow figs, and certain fig varieties absolutely get destroyed by the nematodes. Even my okra plants, which get attacked really bad but can still grow, you can see the actual damage that the nematodes do on the roots. And there is 0 damage. They call them galls, nematode galls. They make the round little nodes all over the roots. It's a nematode damage. And here, look at that. 0. So, the argument that only newer rootstocks and all these, whatever their names are, there's a few, are resistant to all the nematodes. It's just selling points. That's all it is. This here, this Citation, I'm not entirely sure when it was created. I don't know. I know it was an older rootstock that they used to put a lot on back in the day. I'm pretty sure it came out of California. I'm not entirely sure who bred it. But it is a dwarf tree. If you let it grow on its own, they only max out about 8-9 feet. They don't get super large. Right here, if you can see that. These are all going to get cut up, and I'll do cuttings and roots, pot up the roots These are max size for these guys. Of course, the trunks on them will get bigger, but they'll get bushy before they'll get tall. So, I mean, super nematode resistant. They can also take the flooding, which is a big thing, especially in Florida in the south. Something like Nemagard rootstock, which I think is a peach, cannot get wet feet. Those guys will rot and die in 2 seconds. And then even the dry sand, some of the newer rootstocks can't take drying out. They'll just end up dropping dead on you. But these guys, super adaptable. I've had my peach and plum trees sitting in stagnant water for months, no kidding, on these rootstocks, and survive with no issues. I have had them bone dry in droughts out here and still pull through with no issues. So I used to do the Nemagard and all these rootstocks. I used to buy all the new rootstocks and graft myself, but no more. Nope. The past 5 years, I have used nothing but Citation. So, if you guys really want to be grafting and making your own fruit trees, which I do, by the way, every cutting, every graft, every seedling, everything comes from me, guys. I don't buy anything and resell it. It's often why I have very limited numbers of things, because it is all done 100% by me. And, you know, just me, literally one person. So it gets a little hectic. But, yeah, last year I actually went around my trees and purposely cut with a shovel around the trees. And this is the product of that, the end result. I've got about 200 beautiful bases here, and then I'll get, you know, a few hundred cuttings to root. So it worked out extremely well, going around my trees and severing the roots, and my rootstock sprouted for me. Worked out really well, actually. And yeah, these will all be grafted this year. They root real easily. You can take a cutting, split the end, stick it in some good soil, and I easily get 90% rooting off these guys. Super easy to root. Oh, excuse me. Even when they're in full growth, they'll root pretty easily. And this one is, again, it's adapted to pretty much all of North America. I think it's even extremely cold tolerant. So this can be used anywhere in the country, I believe, except maybe the extreme coldest areas. But once you get into those, you know, you don't grow peaches and plums anyways, so don't have to worry about that. But pretty much anywhere you can grow peaches, plums, apricots, you can use this rootstock. And I don't have anything for comparison. I really should have. I have a few trees that I have on Nemagard and a few others, and I can actually go dig those up, and they do actually have nematode damage on them. Especially Nemagard peach is not as nematode resistant as it's touted as, and that one was used for quite a while. And I think one of the newer ones is Florida Guard, and that's supposed to be more resistant, and there's even newer ones. But stick with the old guys, tried and true. Right there. Beautiful. All these will be grafted, actually, probably pretty soon, within the next month when I start grafting. These just gotta get potted up. So Citation rootstock, guys. If you're serious about grafting your own trees and growing your own food, sometimes you need to make more. So it doesn't hurt to know your rootstocks and have a good one, and possibly even keep a little rootstock tree on your property that you can get cuttings off of, or root, or graft, whatever you're looking to do. I do sell cuttings for these. I've had a few people complain about the price, I don't know what I do. 10 cuttings for 20 something, I think. But actual story, this rootstock, I bought one plant this size right here, and it cost me almost $2,000. No kidding, guys. No kidding on the price on that. It's the lengths I go to try and find some of the things that I grow. Some people wonder why things can get a little expensive, but some of the older or rarer things just are not easy to find anymore, and this rootstock was one of them. I'd actually heard about it through my wife's grandfather, and he used to be big into grafting right here in Central Florida, and this was a rootstock he used for years and said it was amazing. So when I was looking for it, I couldn't find it. There's literally almost no information on this rootstock right here. I think the one site that I found was in Australia talking about it. That was it. And then I found a grower in California that, oh yeah, I've got it, but you know, blah blah blah, and I ended up, paying a lot for this rootstock. One little tree, but completely worth it. It is the only prunus rootstock that I use now. Only one. And trust me, guys, if it can survive me, it is worth using or growing. And this rootstock, pretty amazing. So look for it. Look for some cuttings on it if you're wanting to graft your own trees. Citation rootstock. You want to graft trees, you got to start with good roots. Yep, this is one. So grow food, be self-sustainable, and sometimes that means, you got to start from the roots on up, guys, right? Strong foundation, that's what you need. There you go. See you later. Grow food. Make sure you plant those roots, get those roots nice and deep with your little interspecific, is that how you say that? Hybrid Citation dwarf. It is a dwarf, by the way. Dwarf rootstock. Drought tolerant, flood tolerant, can take the cold, can take the heat, and no nematode damage at all. Zero nematode damage, guys. Look at that. That's impressive for growing in Florida sand. Zero nematode damage. That's a good one. That's a keeper.